The Environmental Protection Agency is expected to issue its proposed PFAS drinking water standards by March 3rd, according to the EPA's latest regulatory agenda. Non-binding interim health advisories the EPA issued last summer said that almost no levels of two PFAS substances in drinking water are safe. The advisories set recommended PFAS levels so low that public utilities can't detect them in the water using current technology. The interim advisory levels of 0.004 parts per trillion for perfluorooctanoic acid, that's PFOA, and zero point zero 0.02 parts per trillion for perfluorooctane sulfonic acid, or PFAS, dramatically tightened EPA's 2016 advisory of 70 parts per trillion for either compound or a combination of both. March 3rd is a legal deadline set 2 years after the agency published its 2021 decision to regulate PFAS, or per and polyfluoroalkyl substances, under the Safe Drinking Water Act. Drinking water systems are preparing for the possibility that the EPA will try to codify that advisory that suggested almost no amount of PFAS substances are safe. There's a lot of concern among water agencies right now that the EPA could set these limits so low that it would be extraordinarily expensive for them to filter this out. So the EPA said last week that the draft of its proposed rule is undergoing interagency review and it will be released in the coming weeks. It also expects to finalize the PFAS drinking water limits by the end of the year. Environmental groups and attorneys say it's unlikely EPA will set its PFOA and PFAS standards at zero because the Safe Drinking Water Act requires the EPA to consider the economic impacts of new regulations, and the cost to utilities could be pretty great. But the World Health Organization issued draft guidance last year that would allow more PFOA, PFAS in drinking water than the EPA has recommended already. The WHO recommended a limit of 100 parts per trillion of either PFOA or PFAS in drinking water,